Lesson number 118 today is about estimating area. Now we know how to find area of shapes like rectangles with length times width, or with circles to multiply pi times the radius squared. But say we have a problem like this. A 1-acre grid is placed over an aerial photo of a lake. Estimate the surface area of a lake. Now a 1-acre grid, what that means is that each individual space, each individual grid here, is 1 acre. Now this is a really important problem to know how to do, because if we have reservoirs that are filled up with waters that cities rely on, it's important to be able to take aerial photos of them from the sky and see how much water is in there. It's a great way to predict how long a water source may last, or if a reservoir is full, or if it's nearly empty. So a way to do this to estimate the surface area of the lake, we want to know how many acres this lake is we can count the grid. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Well, there must be 12 if we count 6 again. Then we've got 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. It looks like 24 whole pieces on our top left quadrant. So we're going to write that out. We've got 24 on the top left, and that's only wholes. Let's look at the top right, and we're just looking at the whole pieces. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we've got 6 holes again. Then on the next you can see we have 5. So 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 5 more is 17. Well, we have 5 more, so that gives us 22. And now you can see we only have 4 holes, so 22 plus 4, that's 26. Plus 2 more gives us 28. Now to continue estimating area, we need the number of holes in the bottom left-hand quadrant. So we've got 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. This one, you can see it's partially out. So we've got 11 holes in the bottom left-hand quadrant. And in the bottom right-hand quadrant, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to call this one hole 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Now back to our bottom quadrant, we called this one hole even though there's a tiny fraction of it out of our 1-acre grid. The reason we called it hole is because it's so close that since we're only estimating, we're going to count it as a hole in order to find our final answer. Now we can add all these together. 24 plus 11, that must give us 35. 28 plus 23, if we add those, 8 plus 3 is 11, and we carry our 1. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 more gives us 5. We've got 51. 51 plus 35, those are our holes. That's going to be equal to 86. So we have 86 whole acres with our lake. Now we need to estimate how many half acres we have. And for each piece that's left, since we're only estimating, we're only going to assume that each piece left is a half. So let's use a different color. Let's use our blue. So each piece that we get in blue is a half. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So it looks like there's 34 halves. So half of 34, 34 divided by 2, that must be 17. So that means we have about 17 more holes. So 86 plus 17, that's going to give us our estimated final surface area of the lake. 86 plus 17, 6 plus 7 is 13, and we'll carry our 1. 8 plus 1 is 10, so we get about 103. And the surface area would have to be about 103 acres, because an acre is a measure of area. Now, is this perfectly exact? No, it's not, but it's a good estimate. And this is a good way that we can use to use aerial photography to do things like measure how much water might be in a reservoir at any given time. Now, just as a note, when we counted each one of these blue ones as half, it's true. Each one of those blue ones definitely is not half of a square unit or a 1 acre plot in this grid. But if we were to look at a big one and a small one, they would average out to about 1 whole acre. So if we assume they're both half, it works out for our math in the end. Our lesson practice will be on page 638. Make sure you've got your notes complete, and I'll see you during our next class.